guided by social media feelers, just right in looks and convinced to the tolerant core, and promises. The ribs were drooping and stooping. Mexican food was terrible with soy. The pizza had ribs too.
Oh,
He said stuff
sugar-free
like
chocolate
80%
balls.
vegan is healthy. It is as reasonable as everyone should eat. And for the environment, he had no excuses and confined eating to being tasty. There were points minus for heavy metals, longevity, and bacteria. It was natural for jaguars to eat meat to survive, motivating killing in their philosophy. Now we do it to die earlier, like falling out of a glass frame into the woodchucker of metabolic diets. It's even minus for depression and mental health. The jaguars licked their spotted butts and were so content being a bigger part of the machination. Mostly vegans dissuade meat for the animals through. Maybe he should have argued with a sheep, boar-headed exterior, or high-class person. How he would struggle against meat and machination. He was as meaty as a water buffalo if you looked at the legs, and tempered like arch-spired dwarf real steel. Being 2.2 meters tall and 150 kilos of anatomical, functional muscle gave him gigantic legs and an extension shins like heads also, because after reasonable tall lengths, it's only the legs that grow thus, but he did not look like a frog either, or cyclist no matter the front teeth of pavés or stiff upper lip. A view that is presumed and yet surprising. He had the endurance and ease for exaggerated, unfair physical work. Broad thus like a tall brawn unit you don't expect to face and challenge. Playing the odds. There's always a bigger barbarian, a peaky blindness, a bigger arm like honest disappointment. But he was an abstract, reserved thinker, contemporary and true. Rectangular glasses without frames looked teachy with his brown autumn coat. In contemporary London were allowed and audacious. The glasses could have made him look a legendary nerd if he was just an attorney or skinny doctor. Contemporary designer umbrella. Black and white striped tailor-made suit. Considering having sleeves up, he could be quiet, listening and stuck in the inside enough for people think he was an extroverted sometimes. He would listen and wonder, fantasize about people automatically. He tried to have solitude alone. People leave when they like to. Can't rely on other people to be happy. Fleeting smiles and chuckles and insecurity about stupid jokes. There is no certainty in persona for persons, in the flip side of fate. And there is so much time to gather brains, to analyze, create and create strength. Solitude and introspection, analysis, or worst, sedating darkness. The darkness hummed of commitment and performance. He had waited for a good life, a history of bad mental health, and life kept unfair like sickness. With waiting things turned into solitude, waking away with biceps curls clearing his mind, creative time, sketching, writing and reading. No one could distract him away from his growth. Easily dissuaded into his habit of feeling grey and dissociating. He had been grey, lonely with life, not a brother to Fortuna the contemporary fairy or Fate the arrogant and pacing. Not being connected as much as he would have liked, waiting for his time, moving to He was a very muscular V-shaped gym human with 1.7 meters between shoulders and arms like trees. To lose yourself in aesthetics and ease of fantasy, perfection in growth always changing and a promise. Chiseled jawline manly face in the Chad direction, square buttocks, striated upper legs, like feathers, like an anatomy chart, disproportional 3D delts. To have an aesthetic look, like body sculpturing is about